It's Dan and Dago, and I'm here to tell you that you might as well should call the Compas USPS, UPS, FedEx, whoever you want, because once again they have delivered on time, and it is great in perfect condition. The Chargers have a new star-studded, new look defense, and one of the biggest additions of the offseason is joining your Compas. You already know how it goes here on this program. Kyle Van Noy will be our grand guest this week, and that's right, two-time Super Bowl champion with the New England Patriots. But Van Noy is not done. He is not finished. He wants to acquire more Lombardi trophies. He's hungry for another one, playing with a chip on his shoulder, and he really wants to bring the first one to our franchise. And dear God, I hope you're listening. Make it happen. Make sure to stick around and get to know the new Chargers defender. I guarantee, put my name on it, Dan and Dago signing, that Kyle Van Noy will be a great guest. But first, here's your weekly reminder to subscribe to Compas on the Beat. It's our goal to reach 1,000 YouTube followers by week 1 of the NFL season. Also, make sure to subscribe to the audio version on Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram. Get on there, on the gram, as the kids say, at Compas on the Beat. Also, if you're looking to advertise on Compas on the Beat before the NFL season, make sure to send us an email at compasonthebeat@gmail.com for all business inquiries. You already know Dan and Dago is the best promo reader in the game. To quote the Usos, everyone's a 2, and I'm the 1. Woo! Okay, now it's time for the best damn podcast in the universe from somewhere in California. Wait a minute, I know where he is. Fire the script writer. Play the music, Nando! Welcome to Compas on the Beat. I am Fernando Ramirez, Notre Dame beat reporter for the South Bend Tribune. With me, as always, my co-host, my tag team partner, Chargers beat reporter for the OC Register, LA Daily News, Gilbert Manzano. What's up, bro?
What's up, Fernando? Just the time of year when you're waiting for football to start, but it's still OTAs, mandatory minicamp. But it's going though. How are you?
I'm all right, doing all right. Just got back from my cousin's graduation. Shout out to little Daniel. I know some people know about him. Graduated from high school. He had a bunch of cords and stuff on his gown and everything. I'm like, I don't recognize any of that. I didn't graduate with none of that crap. If anything, I was stealing it from other people and putting them on me at graduation, but I didn't graduate with any of that. The kid's a brainiac. 4.2 GPA. Dude, the valedictorian had a 4.62. How the hell do you get a 4.62?
What are you taking, like 10 classes and you aced them all?
I guess like they took AP and college courses and he aced them all. So the kid, like, I guess he's going to MIT or something like that. And I was like, oh wow, that's incredible.
But he wasn't prom king. Little Daniel was.
No, little Daniel was.
Matters,
little Daniel's, he's a champion. So yeah, that's true. But yeah, it's just interesting to see the next generation and see what kids are talking about. It was a mess. It was hot. But happy to jump on again on Compas on the Beat. How are you doing?
Doing well. You've
had your share of graduations, haven't you?
I did. I went to one last week. My girlfriend's nephew had a graduation.
College or high school?
High school. I don't know if he's watching, but Sammy, congrats. I doubt it. I don't think it's football.
The high school ones are so packed. There's so many people. So like it's all congested. I'm like, oh God. So but Dan and Dago and I and when one of those, it got too hot. So I grabbed my chair and I walked it all the way to the back. And I just sat in the shaded area and I just sat. I was the only person just sitting there. Everybody else was standing. And I was like, I'll take my chair with me.
Hey, I don't blame you. Us, we're already too dark, so we can't be out there in the sun too much. Well, at least I am. I don't know about you, Fernando. Maybe you need
it. No, because then I get all red and I just look all weird. But Gilbert, I mean, I haven't been out there, obviously, and you never know when I'll stop by. You never know. But what's been going on at Chargers OTAs? Fill me in.
Well, I'm glad you asked, Fernando, because you kind of buried the lead. Well, at least Dan and Dago brought it up. But we have a big guest today, Kyle Van Noy. Aren't you
Yep.
excited for that, Mister Cheery hype person? Like you haven't even brought him up. Kyle Van Noy,
I know.
two-time
Well,
Super Bowl champion.
I was letting you get to that, but man, it's gonna be awesome to have Kyle Van Noy on the show just because obviously I've followed his career for a while because he was Eric Williams, a good friend of the show, Compa. He a couple of years ago had talked to I think Kyle, and Kyle had told him, "I want to be drafted by the Chargers. I want to go down California's home. I want to be a Charger." And he went in the second round to Detroit, but Kyle really blew up after the what's it called? After there's Kyle,
What a
Joey
picture.
Bosa, and Khalil Mack. So Kyle really blew up at one point and he really has made a tremendous career for him. I think he's going to be a good leader for the Chargers. I think he's going to be a good addition to the team. But I'm excited to have him on Compa. See how much Spanish he knows.
Yeah, we'll ask him all the big questions, but we got to ask him about the edge rusher group, man. That picture right there, Khalil Mack, Kyle Van Noy, and Joey Bosa. And how about Joey Bosa coming to camp, or I guess OTAs early? He usually kind of skips a voluntary program, works out on his own. I know people are very judgmental nowadays when you don't show up to OTAs, but obviously,
Well, it
Joey
depends
Bosa,
on what kind of player you are.
well, that too. But obviously, you cannot, question Joey Bosa always coming to shape and one of the best at his position. But this year, he wanted to come early.
Does he look bigger to you? Joey looks big, like arms. Like look at like his arms and his legs. Like you could tell he really
he has more hair. I know that. I think people
yeah.
are saying that's a throwback Joey Bosa from the early days. So that kind of tells you, man. I think he wants to, he feels rejuvenated, fresh. And he's like, you know what, Khalil Mack and Kyle Van Noy and the team made me leave Fort Lauderdale, Florida. We know about the home, Fernando. He told us about the house there. He left and he's over here. Yeah, he invited us too. But we'll see if we ever make it out there and hang out on the boat too. But if you ask me about Chargers, man, that was kind of the main takeaway I had, especially because I don't really care what's going on right now because they're all in shorts and there's no helmets. There's nothing really happening. For some people, when there's a quarterback controversy, they really care, but there's nothing like that here with the Chargers. Obviously, Justin Herbert, QB1. But the main takeaway I had was I was staring at the field. I'm like, that's Joey Bosa. That's Derwin James, Khalil Mack, J.C. Jackson, Fernando. You're supposed to say what? There you go. What? I'm blanking on the names, but yeah, Kyle Van Noy, another one. The two defensive tackles, Austin Johnson, Sebastian Joseph Day. This defense is star-studded, man. And we were talking about the hype a week ago, and you see it on the field. Like, okay, you could kind of understand the hype. I'm not going to get too far ahead. We'll ask Kyle Van Noy about the hype, but they're stacked on defense. And obviously, you got to put it together. It's only May, but for Joey Bosa to show up, and then you ask guys like Keenan Allen, who says, yeah, people are here for a reason because there's something special brewing, and to kind of feel that all-pro talent on the field from May to whenever, and he said it, they're stacked at every position. So, maybe they have a few holes here and there, but if you really look, when you look at the field in June, or I guess early June, I keep forgetting it's not May anymore, but early June, it was a lot of all-pros, Pro Bowlers, and now a couple of former Super Bowl champions. So, for the Chargers, you kind of felt the little energy in early June.
I pay attention to the team. I pay attention through you guys as well. You, Jeff Miller, Uncle Joe Reedy, and even Pop sometimes. But I pay attention to you guys. And the first thing I saw was Keenan Allen said, there's almost an all-pro at almost every position on defense and on offense. And you kind of look at it and you're like, he's not wrong. I mean, on the offensive line, you have Corey Linsley, you have Rashawn Slater. At quarterback, well, you have Justin. At receiver, Keenan, Mike. You have a lot of different pieces to this team. And one picture that really kind of hit the wavelengths, and I saw being retweeted, obviously the talented Ty Nowell, he does photos for the Chargers, but he does such a great job. He's the one that took our Compa picture last year when we showed up to that practice. But this is the picture that was really making the waves, and everybody was like, oh my God, this is a thing of beauty for non-quarterbacks, is this picture of Khalil Mack and Joey just talking. It's gonna be interesting to watch.
we've never seen them play it down together, but
I
is
know.
it at least on paper? Is it safe to say that the Chargers have the best edge rushers group, and not even duo? Because I like Kyle Van Noy there too. So
And Chris, honestly, don't sleep on Chris Rumpf either. I think Chris is going to learn a lot from these guys. And then remember, Chris's dad, I believe, has known Khalil Mack for a while,
yeah,
and I
he
think
was
he
a
had
coach in
spoken to
Chicago. That's
yeah, and
actually
he
a
had
good nugget.
spoken to Khalil for advice. So now they're together again. But Gilbert, I'm gonna have to give you the bad news, and I apologize for being the one to tell you, but he will not. You will not be seeing Joey Bosa or Khalil Mack on the field until week 1 against the Raiders. So I apologize to give you the bad news, but I believe that you're not going to see these guys at all during any
Hey,
of the preseason games. And
that's
I
fine.
think you might not even see a lot of them during training camp.
Hey, what about when the Cowboys come into that scrimmage? That should be pretty fun. But yeah, these guys are proven players. They won't play in the preseason. You don't need to see them in the preseason. So yeah, the first people that might see them for real is Khalil Mack's former team, the Raiders. Joey Bosa's favorite quarterback, Derek Carr. So week 1 should be interesting. But again, for now, it's kind of with the OTAs, man. And Kyle will let us know more about it. But just seeing the talent, especially on defense, really gives you a wake up call or a reminder to know, all right, you could kind of see where the hype is coming for the Chargers. I'm still a little, I'm pumping the
Yeah,
brakes a
you're
little bit.
hesitant. You're
I'm
hesitant.
a little
Yeah.
hesitant, but overall, when you see a picture like that, shout out to Ty. It really makes people get excited.
I'll tell you one thing though, Gilbert, from my point of view, I've been around the team everybody knows for a while now. I've never seen this team this stacked ever. And I love how they did it the year that I left to really just tell me, hey, you were the reason. So definitely shout out to Tom Telesco for that. Shout out to Tom Telesco for that one. But
And
definitely
But real quick, before I know you have to get to Kyle, but real quick, I liked Keenan Allen's quote. He said somebody asked him, does it feel different this year? And it's kind of like a dumb question because you ask it every year, and every year you have to say, yeah, it's different. They want to win Super Bowl. But Keenan Allen went this way. He said something like, to paraphrase, every year I said it feels different because you're trying to win the Super Bowl, you want to go 16-0, 17-0, whatever. But then he added, but it definitely looks different. Like when he looks on the field, they look the part to be a Super Bowl contender. That's what he aimed at. So it doesn't feel different for him because obviously he wants to be a winner every year. But to look different, that's where it starts, Fernando.
no, and it really doesn't. I mean, who's going to know more than Keenan Allen? I mean, literally, Keenan and I came in at the same time. And I've been there when Keenan was frustrated in his locker and he'd be like, bro, why? Why can't we put this together? And it's like, and you understand the frustration. I mean, I remember guys like Brandon Flowers and some of these other players who'd be there. They'd be like, come on, dude, we got to put this together. And it just hadn't come together. And it feels like this year might be a year where it comes together. I mean, maybe, and it's not going to be a finished product. It never is. But this is the closest that they've been in the Tom Telesco era to having such a big stacked team with so many good players. And obviously, I mean, next year you're gonna have to pay Derwin, which I saw Rap Sheet said it. You're gonna say, oh, there you go. There's Fernando's weekly Pat McAfee show thing. But Ian Rappaport, good friend of the show, Rap Sheet said on Pat McAfee show that he believes that the contract will get done before training camp starts with Derwin James, a contract extension from what he's hearing. So that'll be that's somebody that you need to. And I mean, people are saying, "Oh, why hasn't it gotten done?" It'll get done. Like a guy like Derwin, you don't let that guy leave your locker room. You don't let him leave the field. Like you don't let him leave your facility because he's the future of your team and he's the future of your defense. So that one, I'm sure will get done. And then next year, obviously, you have to have Justin Herbert have his contract basically done because of obviously we're seeing right now with Kyler Murray and Lamar Jackson and some of these other guys who you're wondering, well, what's going on with their contract situation? Why aren't they how are they going to get one? Are they not? So it's going to be interesting to see kind of how that goes. But
You're always getting ahead, Fernando. Who cares about contracts? You need the games to happen.
well,
You
yeah,
see the guys right here, Khalil Mack, Joey Bosa. They're all in this year, Fernando.
no, they are. And that's what I'm saying. They're all in. The team is all in. They just the one thing I'm with you though, the one question mark still is that right tackle position. And that's going to be, I think, a huge question mark until the Chargers decide who's going to be that right tackle. But other than that, I mean, it's looking good. And I saw that Mike. Did Mike have anything good to say?
He was just really excited, man. He got paid. We just spoke to him not too long ago, so Mike's in a good mood still.
It Mike looks like he's gained new superpowers since cutting his dreads. Like I remember he came in with a new haircut last year, and I'm like, he's like, it's gonna make me faster. And honestly, it did. He was a lot faster on the field. He was able to get that game winning touchdown against the Steelers on Sunday Night Football. So a lot of good stuff. But it's time to stop burying the lead, Gilbert. You said it. We got him. We got Kyle Van Noy next on the show. You don't want to miss this, Gilbert. You don't want to miss it. Stay tuned because this is going to be some good stuff with Kyle. It's time to introduce our special guest. He's a two-time Super Bowl champion, a sack artist, an avid golfer, and a native of Reno, Nevada. But he's also called Los Angeles his off-season home, but not anymore. Welcome, Kyle Van Noy. How does it feel to call LA your full-time home now?
Honestly, it's been amazing. Thank you for having me. That was a great intro. You brought the juice. I love it. Honestly, thank you. I appreciate you having me on. Um, it's amazing. A dream come true. I spoke it into existence with my family. It's something I've always wanted to be able to do is play close to home. And what better place to play in the place that I call home in the off season, and now it's home year round. So it's amazing. I'm very blessed. I'm excited for my family to be close. I've been away from them my whole career, so they haven't been able to come to all the games. They've been to plenty, but I'm very excited to perform in front of them and perform in front of my new fans here with the Chargers and with my new teammates. It's been an amazing journey so far. It's been a short and amazing journey.
Kyle, can you kind of give us a quick rundown of how you joined the Chargers? Did you have any idea before the draft, or did it happen all quickly after the draft?
You know, we put some fillers out because I always wanted to stay on the West. So we put some fillers out and didn't get much feedback from before the draft because everybody was focused on it. And then after the draft, it kind of happened quickly. Um, Staley and I had a great talk, and I got it done. I wanted to be here. I want to prove that I obviously can play outside of New England, even though I already have in Miami. But I know that's kind of something that's hanging over my head. And players that leave New England, I'm gonna be the one to break that and play at a high level. And I'm excited for it. I'm excited for the challenge. I'm excited to help out this team. I'm excited to have other veterans on the team that I can lean on as well for myself. And it's just a fun group, positive vibes, and we've been working really hard.
And Kyle, you want to showcase yourself like you mentioned, but is it much better to get to do it next to Khalil Mack, Derwin James, JC Jackson? I could keep going, Kyle.
Yeah, now the excuse is I'm only good around good players, right? there's always gonna be some, but honestly, I'm pumped. Just it's fun showing up to work with a group of guys that work as hard and have such a positive outlook, not on the field, but off the field too. Just enjoy life. Sebastian Day, me and him are real close, and Foxy as well. AJ, we're just a close group right off the bat, and it's been real fun to get to know everybody, get to know the coaches, and just get to work. Obviously, it's a little less stressful because the games aren't happening, so I'm excited for that challenge and opportunity. And I'm excited for training camp. And, as an older guy, you're probably some people are like, what, training camp? But I am, because we're going to bond together. We're going to grind together and just get close. And I know it's going to pay off.
And Kyle, I know that this time of year is all about chemistry, like you mentioned. All the guys are out there, even Joey Bosa. I saw him the other day come out and hang out with you guys or to practice. But, hopefully I'm not jumping too far ahead, Kyle, but just on paper, how talented is this defense? Is it one of the most stacked defenses you've been a part of? But, keep in mind, you won 2 Super Bowls with the Patriots.
Yeah. Ask me that question after the season. But yeah, there's no secret. Everybody that's on this team knows, and everybody that's watching knows we have a talented team. Now, talent will only take you so far, so you got to work. And that's something I've been impressed with is everybody's willing to work. Everybody wants to work. I think it speaks volume of Joey coming out and wanting to be involved and just building that relationship. And it's been awesome. I don't know if you've seen like pictures and video of it. We're vibing right now, and it's really fun because we're not just vibing on, getting to know each other. We're also working hard when we're on the field in between those lines. And that's what's important. We want to keep the main thing.
Kyle, you were drafted by Detroit, but ended up getting traded to New England. And that's when it kind of all came together for you with your game and everything. What is it about playing in New England that kind of helps players put themselves on the map and really able to flourish in that system? And how do you apply that championship mentality with the Chargers?
Yeah, that's a good question. And I think what I try to have people understand about my career is I was on a top 3 defense my rookie year in Detroit. So it was tough to get on the field. I was behind DeAndre Levy. I also was injured for the first 8 games. I was on designated IR. And then when I got back, I played special teams, and then they put me in to get me some reps. The most I played was actually in the playoff game, which I felt I played pretty well against the Cowboys. We got a BS call that a flag got picked up, the famous face guarding call. And then after that, we started off on the wrong foot, and I never really got a chance to shine. But I will say I worked behind the scenes. I was up early. I would study. I would do all the little things right that I knew when I got my opportunity, I was going to shine. And if you go back, I didn't really get much opportunity, and they didn't trust me for whatever reason. It happens. And then when I went to New England, I felt all those things that I did as a rookie, going in early, studying, carried over to New England. And when I got there, I flourished because of those little things that I did behind doors that no one saw, the frustrations, all the times I didn't get to play. I got to go out there and shine. And then the first day I'll never forget in New England, I caught a pick from Jimmy G and threw it back at him like, what? And it was kind of like, I can play, I don't care what anyone has said about me coming from Detroit. I'm ready to play. And I played from that moment on, and I had a great career there, and I'm happy for it. But honestly, that's just the beginning. I'm not done yet. And I want my story to be written with the Chargers. Honestly, I said it a while back that I'm forever a Patriot, but I want that Charger symbol right next to it. And I really believe that. I'm manifesting it. I'm doing whatever I can to put in the work to get the trust of my teammates and everybody in the building. It's a different transition when you go to a different team. And I just want everybody to know who I am as a person on the field and off the field.
So basically, in layman's terms, Detroit, you messed up. You could have had.
Yeah, I told Lombardi that. Hey, Lombardi was there when I was there. So it's like, man, what were y'all coaches thinking in there? He was on offense, but, now you can't say I suck anymore.
Exactly. No, that can never be said.
Yeah.
But just, Kyle, from your defensive perspective, from playing last year against the Chargers and the few practices that you've seen, what are your thoughts on quarterback Justin Herbert?
Oh, Justin, he's an unbelievable talent. You don't find many 6'6" rocket arms walking the earth. That's for sure that in football. And he's got an amazing ceiling. He's still young. He's still hungry to learn. His preparation, you can tell how he carries himself. And, he's a funny guy. I know a lot of people say he doesn't talk or different things like that. But, we're locker buddies, and he's a good dude. And just getting to know him and what he's all about, it's been fun. And I'm excited for people to see it on a national level. We have some national games this year. So I think more and more people will continue to be a fan of Herbert. He definitely does it the right way, and we just got to win. That's the thing. He has naysayers saying that he can't win and yada 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 stats and all that. Same people were saying the same things about Matthew Stafford, and obviously I'm not like comparing them to, but I'm just saying those are some things that were said about other quarterbacks that have been able to change those really quickly. So.
And Kyle, how about with Brandon Staley? How's that connection with him so far, and with the defense in particular? Do you see yourself more as an edge player? Because we're seeing those pictures with Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack. It looks nice for you.
I'm not telling you nothing. I'm all secrets, baby. I need the Raiders. Week 1, they don't know where we're gonna be, and that's part of the game plan. Coach Staley has a great game plan. We want to be multiple, like he's always been his whole career as a coach. And, I'm excited for that. And, it's going to be a secret until you guys see it yourselves and give you something to think about, all the fans, for you guys to think about.
Kyle just tipped it off. He's not playing preseason. Check. Okay, I understand this. So no preseason games for Kyle Van Noy.
Whoa. No, that's not true. I'm not opposed to none of that.
He's getting too far ahead. Sorry about that, Kyle.
Yeah, we gotta go. We gotta get to training camp first.
Kyle, how about maybe take it back to the past a little bit? I need some stories about Michael Davis at BYU, or maybe something even on JC Jackson with the Patriots. You got any?
Oh, I got way too many about both of them, but it's kind of like, what do you guys want to know?
How was a young Vato in college?
A young Vato. Oh, man. And just like any of us, we're all idiots. The one thing I do respect about he's like my little brother is he's always been mature for his age. Like he's always taking care of his family and his mom, and it's super important to him. And I've always respected about him, is how mature he's had to grow up in his situation. And I admire that from him, because a lot of people in those situations, could be statistics, and he was not. And he's overcome a lot, and he's done a lot for his community and his family. And that's something that's important. And I feel like I've been a part of that, so it makes me super proud and happy for him to see him have success. JC, sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yeah, JC.
Yeah, with JC, just how far he's come, not only on the field but off the field too, just speaks volume. Just when he started, I want to tell a story so bad, but I'm gonna save it for when I'm done playing. I can hold on to that one. But another one is, I would say, in games, his confidence level. If you go back to his rookie year, when we're in the playoffs and he's one-on-one with Travis Kelce as an undrafted rookie, that speaks volume to the trust coaches had in him, the belief they had in him. And I would even take it further from that. I call him Gerald. But Gerald, one thing about him is his preparation, to where he changed one small thing that he started. He was always good one-on-one coverage, but turning for the ball started as a rookie, like quick. And they fixed a couple things with him, with his eyes and what to key on. And he had great veteran leadership around him, Jason McCourty and Devin McCourty and Steph. He got to see Steph, so he knew what it took to be a really elite corner, and that group helped him out. And once he started focusing on the ball, it was like picks, and it's just been awesome to see with his growth on the field and off the field. Just the dad he is, I'm super proud of him.
That's awesome. Kyle, can you tell us a little bit about your hobbies? I think golf is one of them. How good are you? Because you're coming to a team that Justin Herbert hit a hole-in-one a couple of months ago. Keenan is supposedly really good at golf. How's your golf game?
That's a secret.
All we got is secrets.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm solid. I hold my own. I'm in the 80s. It can be low, it can be high, but I'm in the 80s right now. I'm trying to fix some things with my irons. I actually got to go get fitted again. I think my clubs are off. So we need to get that straightened out before I really dive into my handicap. But I'm in the 80s.
Kyle, I don't know if I'm reading too much into this, but you kind of being a kind of West Coast guy, is the reason you're wearing 8 maybe because of Kobe Bryant?
Oh, that's a good guess. It's actually because of my wife, honestly. It's her favorite number. I wanted something different. 5 + 3 is 8. That's her number. You know, we're really into 8 being a power number, and it was just something that fit, and I'm excited about it. I think it looks sweet. It makes me look slimmer. So it's good.
Happy wife, happy life. I've always heard that one.
Yeah.
Kyle, before we let you go, you're huge into giving back to the community. Can you tell us about your Van Noy Valor Foundation and how people can help?
I appreciate you giving me that opportunity to speak about it. It's something I'm very passionate about because it hits home for me. For those that don't know, I'm actually adopted. My wife's brother and dad are adopted. So it really hits home for us. And we work with foster care. Lately, we've been focusing on the kids that are aging out of the foster care. The statistics are crazy for young men that go to jail, serve jail time, and then women that get pregnant. And that changes the course of their lives. And we want to try to help those cases and try to make a dent in that in the best way possible. So we started the Van Noy Valor Foundation, and we actually give scholarships to those that are aging out of the foster care, as well as internships. We have programs that allows those kids, when they do age out, they have an option, and the options to go to school and have an internship to put on their resumes, so they continue to change that generational cycle that's been going on for a long time, and they can change their whole generational course of their whole family tree. And we're able to help those out, and we've gotten lots of donations. You can go to VanNoyValorFoundation.org anytime. We'll have an event here. I'm not sure what it's going to be. It could be a gala. It could be a bowling event. It could be a restaurant night. I don't know what that is yet. We're going to sit with the team here coming up really soon to talk about it. But we're going to have something that fans can participate, and my teammates will hopefully come show up and show out for us. And we'll have some prizes and all sorts of good things. But I appreciate you letting me talk about it. Super passionate about it. I'm super honored that I was able to share that. So thank you.
That's awesome, Kyle. You know,
that's
awesome. Hear your story.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah,
and that locker room is full of guys that will help and be there for you. So that's going to be a great event for you to put on.
Yeah, no, it's cool. It's cool because I'm able to talk to young men and young women and give them hope. Because I mean, I was in the foster care, even though it was super young, like 2 to 3 months, I was, out. And I'm with my parents that are my parents. It's awesome. It's a blessing. My parents are amazing. I got a tall, lanky white brother. He's 6'7". That's my guy. We look nothing alike, and it's the best. Wouldn't want it any other way. He is honestly one of the best humans I know, and I know others aren't so fortunate with that in the foster care system. And I really want to know that I think about them, and I hope to be a light for them, that they can do whatever it is they want to do in life, that they don't have to be part of. They're not in the situation they want to be, that's for sure. And I think that's what people need to realize is these kids don't want to be there. And all they need is a little bit of help and a little bit of guidance. And once they have that, the sky's the limit.
That is awesome, Kyle. Thank you. That's a great foundation. Thank you so much do you know a little Espanol? Do you know a little Spanish?
Sí. Mi mamá hablas mucho español porque I forgot. She did a mission for 2 years, and so did my brother. So I understand it better. So my brother and my mom speak fluent Spanish. They have I've taken Spanish a lot, so I'm better at understanding. If someone's talking to me, I can say yes or no, and shake my head if it's like an easy question, or down the street, a guy, just the basic stuff you need when you go to order at a place, and you get people like, what? You get a little things like that. Try to have fun with it. I just try to be respectful. It's one thing that I think as humans we don't do a good enough job is understanding people's culture. So I feel like when I travel to wherever I'm traveling in the world, I try to understand the basic words that people are saying. So if I go to Mexico, I want to know Spanish, a little bit of Spanish, so I could be respectful to their culture because I'm visiting their homeland. So I want to, and that's their tongue that they speak. So I try to be respectful. So.
Wow, Fernando, it sounds like we have a real compa right here in Kyle.
I know. So that's what our show's called. Our show's called Compas on the Beat because we're compas. So now you're an honorary compa. You join us. You're a compa. So Kyle, thank you so much.
Muchas gracias.
Two-time Super Bowl champion Kyle Van Noy is bringing the energy. He's bringing the light to the Chargers, and he wants to cement his legacy with the Chargers. Kyle, thank you so much for joining the Compas, and we appreciate it.
Yeah, muchas gracias, señores.
Gilbert, great interview with Kyle Van Noy. I don't think anybody is more fired up than having more of the Patriot way on the Chargers than the guy below us right now. Dan and Dago is joining us for this next segment. Dan, how excited are you about Kyle Van Noy coming to the team?
Oh, I am up. There's nothing gets me more fired up from a winning program who knows to win, have a winning program, because the whole point is to get a ring at the end of it, right? It's a wasted year if you don't win. There's been too many wasted years in our history, so hopefully they're going to be able to figure it out and get more leaders in there because understand what it's like to win a championship. If you got guys going on vacation instead of working out and doing all this crazy stuff, they're going to stomp that out real quick, right? Because they're trying to win another one.
Dan, I don't know what's going on with your Wi-Fi, but I'm blaming it on you. You have the AOL startup dial Wi-Fi. And how can we go
with the
from
machine? Is that the machine one?
Whatever machine. So how can we go from a two-time Super Bowl champion, Kyle Van Noy, to Dan and Diego? But, I'll just say this. You are a champion, right? Recently, your team, that football team over there on the other side of the world I don't really know about.
Oh! Don't get me started. Yes, my football team. I was about to pull out a Real Madrid jersey, but I thought, no, I need to save that one for the 60 seconds with Dan and Diego. Check. If you're on audio and you're a wrestling fan, you're going to want to check this out right there. Nice little throwback. Stone Cold Steve Austin flipping you the bird, especially
right,
you.
Cut him off, Fernando. He's already giving himself a plug on the TikTok.
All right. Well,
terrible Wi-Fi too.
Speaking of somebody, he's like AJ Hawk right now. Speaking of somebody kind of clapping
I look weird
back.
or what? I look weird because I see you guys fine.
So obviously, speaking about somebody who's clapping back, Tua Tagovailoa, Miami Dolphins. Dan knows him all too well. Selected one spot before his quarterback, but Tua has been clapping back a little bit at the media and at the Twitter warriors who are saying that he can't throw a nice spiral down the field. Let's see what and this from Cameron Wolf from NFL Network. Good guy, great reporter. I've got to know him a little bit, and he's a great guy and very talented. But here's what.
Hope you got the copyrights, Fernando.
No, not this one. Let's see what Tua had to say.
Well, thank you.
If I can throw the ball downfield still, by my account, I think that might have been a touchdown to Tyreek. If not, then we scored 2 plays after that to Tyreek. So, however you want to write down any of that to social media or whatever outlets you guys are with, you do so.
Can you talk about your timing overall with Tyreek, and is there a play outside of that stuck out today that you think you guys shows your timing?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's pretty cool having a guy like Tyreek, but you have other guys that are, extremely talented, very fast as well, that kind of help out with Tyreek being open. You have Waddle, you have
so basically the gist of all this is he was saying that basically that that he feels very comfortable, that he feels like his long ball is working. He's like, Twitter warriors, keyboard warriors, whatever you want to call them, aren't out here practicing with us. I don't know if y'all recorded that last one to Tyreek. I don't know about you, but that looked like money. So basically, Tua's clapping back at other people and it wasn't even anybody that did it. It was his own social media team that showed a pass that he had thrown to Tyreek Hill a couple of weeks ago, and it just looked like it would have been intercepted if there was a corner on it. And now all of a sudden, Dolphins social media has been doing everything they can to kind of revive themselves. Gilbert, what do you make of what Tua said? Do you think he's starting to get a little frustrated?
So I'm guessing the Twitter warriors are the Dolphins because they're the one that kind of.
Well, yeah, they're the ones that did it. But I guess there's a lot of people outside of Miami that are kind of crapping on Tua a little bit.
I know that. I see it all the time, and I think
it's hard. It's hard because Joe Burrow just went to the Super Bowl, and Justin Herbert is he's been playing really well. He has the stats, and you're kind of the odd man out.
He's definitely a distant third in that quarterback class of 2020, or at least the first rounders. But I don't think I wouldn't call it a clapback. He just got asked a question, and he was kind of like, yeah, there's people out there bashing me, but what can you do? I like it better than kind of like shying away from like, oh, next question. Like, no, I kind of like the little confidence, a little mild clap. I don't think it was anything crazy, but it's that time of year where people want content or starving with content. But yeah, you're gonna have to wait until the season to really kind of do something to prove these people wrong, like Dan and Diego, and people who really knocked Tua. And
big facts.
I don't get the Tua hate either. Like, Justin Herbert and Joe Burrow on a different level. You can't really do anything about it. But if your team has Joe Burrow or your team, like Dan's team, has Justin Herbert, why are you so focused on Tua? I don't understand why are people so worried about him. But maybe because the team got better and people are saying, oh, look at the hype here in Miami. And then people are saying, you know what? Well, let's see what Tua has. I mean, that's probably where it's stemming from. But, I don't think I guess I should probably say like, yeah, he's clapping back to add more fire to the fuel. But I don't know. It was a little tame for me. But I'm definitely more on the like, you got to prove it to me because he's an accurate quarterback. He's a smart quarterback as well. He could run an offense, I think, well. And I think he has good leadership qualities, but that arm strength is definitely a problem. You can see it on the field when it throws further than 20 yards. So when you have Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle and you need to push the ball vertically and you can't do it, that could be an issue. But as I told you, Fernando, and even you, Dan, I trust Mike McDaniel. Like, if he could figure out how to be a head coach in year one, all that other chaos around it, besides the calling the plays, if he has that down, Mike McDaniels, he's going to have a good game plan to at least make it work with the kind of the limitations of Tua.
Before I go to Dan real quick, I feel like it's mainly because it's hey, they've done everything and now they're going to go as far as Tua goes. So and also they brought in did they bring in Teddy Bridgewater as their backup quarterback?
Yes, sir. He is a backup.
So that's the thing is that they're like, okay, they're protecting themselves by bringing in Teddy Bridgewater. Tua's been hurt every single year that he's been in the NFL. So I feel like now it's kind of like all the pressure's on him. Like, the defense is good. We've got your weapons on offense. You got running backs. You got a tight end. Now it's on you to perform. And I feel like that's kind of where everybody's going with it. Like, hey, now it's Tua. And is he going to perform? Obviously, we don't know. But I'm with you, though. Tua's not a bad quarterback. It's just he's just not as flashy as the other two guys. He doesn't have the arm strength of the other two guys.
Well, let me pretend to be host here now, and let me ask Dan and Diego to get involved. The question: by which week is Teddy B going to jump in and overtake Tua, or is it going to happen at all?
Oh, dude, you already know because I think his rookie year he lost the job to FitzMagic, right? No disrespect to FitzMagic, great journeyman, played a lot, had his ups and downs. Then they randomly throw him in, nothing. You don't really see anything great. Then this last season was the first season he actually started. And I think he played like half the season? I think half the season he was out anyway. And it's like that's the thing that people don't understand. Number one, I understand not everyone can have the son of Odin, the god of light team on their program like we do. And it's like, I understand they're going to try and compare them, but it's like, dude, it's because everyone – I'm so convinced that the reason he went as high as he did was off of that national championship he had against Georgia where he came in at halftime and won in overtime. It's like, dude, a great college quarterback, but it's like NFL speed's completely different. You were hurt, I think, your senior year or whatever year before he came out. He's been hurt here. Now there's going to be because they got Tyreek Hill. They have Waddle. They still have Gesicki. They have Mike McDaniel, who essentially willed the 49ers into the NFC Championship because they got past the Packers and played efficient. And that's what I think his offense is going to be. It's going to have to be an efficient type offense where, like, you don't need 80-yard bombs. You know, for a while they used to ding Brady about that. He would just do 5, 6-yard dunks, 6-yard dinks, and you're chopping up the field going 10-minute drives or whatever. And that's what that's the type of offense you're going to need. And hopefully you have backs who are up to the challenge that, you know, get 20, 25 touches maybe. And hopefully the line's up to it too to get a few hundred yards rushing.
But you know, it's kind of like the crappy part about this. Like, it's a good team, and you think Mike McDaniel's going to scheme around it, but then it's like, come on, you got Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, push that thing down the field.
You're
So I
gonna
feel like
yeah.
as football fans, we're going to miss out on that whole part. But it could work, like you said, Dan, is being efficient. But like in my head, I'm like, it could be better.
You know,
of course, right?
You know, what I was going to say is the interesting part about the whole thing, though, is that Tyreek's saying all the right things right now. He's like, oh, we're teammate. That's he's throwing me the nicest ball I've ever had. Bro, come on. Like, you know, Patrick Mahomes' ball is like, that thing is he has a cannon for a right arm. Like, you know, that guy always put it on the money. So he's saying all the right things.
Fernando, can you put it anywhere?
That's the thing. Yeah. And the problem, this is my problem.
You didn't get the Michael Pittman reference there.
Oh, yeah. No, my bad. I just got it.
I got that double entendre. Hanging out with high schoolers, everything's a double entendre.
Look, you look at their schedule versus New England. That's not going to be a gimme. At Baltimore versus Buffalo at Cincinnati. That 4-game stretch to start the season is brutal. Once again, the middle, it's like at the Jets, Minnesota, Pittsburgh, at Detroit, at Chicago versus Cleveland. Then they come back, and it's kind of a brutal schedule to come back to because they go at San Francisco, at Chargers, and at Buffalo. So that's going to be a hard stretch. I wonder if they're going to stay out in LA after that San Francisco game to not come all the way back. But that beginning schedule with those 4 teams, they could literally be 0-4 at the beginning of the season, playing the Patriots at Baltimore versus Buffalo and at Cincinnati. So it's going to be interesting. And my question is, how short is the Tyreek Hill fuse? Because we've seen it. And I mean, people can say whatever they want, but we've seen it on the sideline. Tyreek Hill comes off, throws his helmet down, starts yelling and getting all angry. So I wonder how long, if they start struggling at the beginning, how long until they're able to kind of calm him down, even though he just got paid and he's the highest paid wide receiver in the NFL. But I'm really interested to see kind of what happens with Tyreek Hill and Tua. But speaking of a guy that you guys were just talking about right now, Ryan Fitzpatrick, he has retired. Like Dan said, really good journeyman, always fun to watch him play. He always gave us a lot of things to look forward to because of the way he was. But Dan, what do you make of him retiring? Are you gonna miss Ryan Fitzmagic?
Oh, I just want to go back real quick to the last thing. Like, yeah, there he is. The Dollar Tree Conor McGregor right there. That's him right there. I remember that. That was epic. I was like after a Monday night football game, I think. And the funniest part is the clothes weren't even his, right? Like it was some receiver.
Yeah, it was the teammates.
With Sean Jackson? I forget.
I just wish it would have been like drinking a
something
beer
like
up there or something like that. That would have made it better. That's
Yeah.
wild, though. But the only thing I was going to say is, like, we just came off an immortal promo by MJF, and then to be followed by that lackluster performance by Tua in that promo cutting. But, I mean, whatever, dude. Whatever. But FitzMagic, dude, like, that guy was a baller. Like, that's why I tell people all the time, like, football's the best sport that teaches you about life without being too real. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I hate to speak like Chris Collinsworth, but here's a guy essentially who's been cut by teams, always a backup.
Here's a guy.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't want to say it, but it always comes out. I think because we're so like they torture us listening to that every Sunday, and I'm so used to it now after so many decades. But Here's a guy who's always like, doesn't matter what program he goes to, he's always going to put his all into it. He's always going to prepare. And let's be real, dude. He's had some moments where, like, he looked like, damn, dude, could he be a starter? And he got paid like that. He got paid as a backup quarterback because people knew if you needed, like, a drive or someone to plug in to keep you alive till your starter got back, like, he was one of those guys.
Dude, FitzMagic was like a crazy stock. It would go up really high and then crash
Yeah.
and up and down. But he always kind of had that wave. But when that high was up, man, he was fun to watch. And you mentioned earlier, Dan, about promos. You know, a big part of promos, man, is how you dress, how you look, confidence, swagger. FitzMagic had it, and obviously he backed it up on the field. And did you know where he went to college?
Of course, he went to Harvard.
Yeah. We all know that. So he had a great career, Harvard. But I don't think obviously he's not gonna be like a Hall of Famer, but he was someone you're gonna remember. Maybe pass down to your kids. I don't know. You heard of the legend of FitzMagic, but cheers to him. And it kind of sucks that actually Fernando and I were there to watch the final play of FitzMagic in Washington. Chan Nwosu had a big hit on him. Hip injury, I think, Fernando, and after that, he never came back. So it kind of sucks that it ended that way, but it was a great career.
No, it was, and 9 teams in 17 years. Let me just real quick throw me out a number. How much do you think he's earned in his career?
Ooh,
I'd say probably around 100.
Nah, I'll say like 45 million.
Dan and Dago's closer.
Really?
Yeah, obviously. Come on, dude. They're paying backup
for many
quarterbacks.
years.
Yeah, but they're paying backup quarterbacks now like 15.
82 million.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
he did get a couple starter money, but damn.
Well, look, he got Buffalo paid him 13.
Wow.
Yeah,
Jets paid him 12, and then Washington gave him 10, and then Miami gave him 8 and 5. So yeah, and then Buffalo gave him 8 this year. So yeah, he's up there, 82 million. Congratulations to him. Yeah. Harvard, look at that. A Harvard student that did something else. Definitely great.
That's right. Put that big brain to a different use.
All right. Stop. Emergency press conference. What are we doing here? Why is that stooge said scumbag Gilberto cutting Dan and Dago's time short? What are we doing? He's over here trying to keep me down. He's worried I'm just going to shine through and I'm going to be on more segments here for this year, your favorite program. But that's all right. I was getting a little fired up. My engines were turning. Oh, that Tua discussion always gets me fired up because I know one thing. No matter what that man does or any other of these stooge quarterbacks, no one is going to be as good as the son of Odin, the god of lightning himself, Justin Herbert. I am so happy with my quarterback. Wouldn't trade him for anybody. I'm keeping him forever. Now, forgive us. We had to cut that NFL rundown segment short, but I was so fired up once again about that interview with Kyle Van Noy. It was so great hearing how he still has a chip on his shoulder and how he's ready to bring. The best part is he knows what a championship winning team looks like. So hopefully he'll be in there to mold the lads and get them ready to go. So hopefully we can get our first Lombardi trophy because good God, we've been waiting too long for this. And it was great also getting to know him under the helmet. What can we tell you? The Compas just once again, like Babe Ruth, just pointed and boom, out of the park. Goodbye. How you doing? Keep it moving. And then, okay, no more dilly-dally. It's time to get to the best final segment in all the podcast land. It's time for Una Más.
Gilbert, I got to say it again, man. What a great interview with Kyle Van Noy. We learned so much about him, about his foundation. And I like that I asked him about the number, and he's like, good guess. He's like, it's actually my 5 + 3 = 8, and it's my wife's number. So, hey, like I told him, happy wife, happy life.
Yeah, I did not know that because he used to wear 53 with the Patriots. So I'm like, oh, that makes sense. And now with all the number changes, or like when you're allowed to wear different numbers, number 8, make it easy, man. Why are we doing math over here? So that was pretty cool to hear. And I'm going to say this, Fernando. I thought that was probably one of my favorite interviews on Compas on the Beat. We've had many good guests on. It might be at the top, man. It might be first. I don't know. But we had some good ones, so I got to think it over. But I really had a good time talking to Kyle, getting to know him. We talked some football, but it was storytelling, getting to know him as a person. That's the way I want to have interviews here on Compas on the Beat.
Yeah, no, definitely. I'm 100% with you, Gilbert, on that. Just quickly, what's something that you're watching right now?
Dude, I've been watching so much TV. Maybe I should cut back.
No
But
such thing.
yeah, but I think you watched one that I watched, so I will let you get that one out the way. But I don't think you watched Stranger Things, so I'll start with Stranger Things. The first part was on Netflix over the weekend. Yeah, the first part, 7 episodes. They were very long. I think they were all like 90 minutes each, so it took a lot longer than I thought to finish it. I finished it over Memorial Day weekend. And it was a little kind of weird at times, confusing. I won't give too many spoilers, but I kind of like the new villain. It kind of had a Freddy Krueger vibe. Other than that, maybe it was a little chaotic at points, but I'm hooked for part 2. I can't wait. And Fernando, I like to kind of have rants here where there's things I don't like that kind of frustrate me. But what happened to this era of binging shows and you knock it out in a week and we move on? We're back to the weekly thing. We're waiting. I know Netflix is not doing weekly just yet, but they're doing the 2-part thing. They did it with Ozark to make us wait a month. I might like that better than the whole weekly thing, but still, we're slowly shifting over to the old way. I get it. It's more marketing. You're talking about it more. We're talking about it on our show. You talk about it on social media, the water cooler, all that stuff. It adds more eyeballs, more marketing. I get it, but I thought we were past that. I thought that was a whole sell for Netflix. It's kind of like my battle with the Zone right now, DAZN, whatever you call it. We're gonna kill pay-per-view. No more pay-per-view, and now they're having pay-per-view. So I don't know, Fernando. People don't know what they want to do anymore.
I'm with you, and we were talking about it off camera, but Cobra Kai better not be like that. It better be everything, because I like binging the whole thing. I'm actually watching Kenobi right now. Very good show. I can't stand little Leia. She's very annoying. So I'm not happy with her.
Oh, yeah.
But just let me tell you real quick, in the last episode, Vader comes out. And
too far ahead, man. I haven't watched the third one.
Darkest Darth Vader I've ever seen.
Right. Slow down.
I was so hyped. So you're gonna love this next episode. But Vader is something that Dan and Dago and I are watching. I actually watched a couple episodes of Stranger Things yesterday with Dan and Dago for a little bit. So it was interesting to watch that show. I just have always watched it chopped up, but that's something right now that I'm not watching too much. I'm trying to enjoy the family and everything, but for right now, that's kind of what I'm watching. And but guys, we just wanted to let you guys know that we'll be doing some different things with Compas coming up. We'll keep you guys more informed about how we're going to be doing what. But basically right now, we're probably going to be doing a football show and then a combat sports show to kind of show the different things that we can do. And it's going to be some exciting stuff that Gilbert and I have planned have planned. Just some more things that we want to do to bring you guys more content. And bring and do more fun stuff, because I mean that's what the Compas are all about, doing fun stuff. So Gilbert, I'm excited about this.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like we have a lot of interests and ideas, and it feels like it kind of gets cluttered and lost, and there's too much going on. And I get people just want to hear football talk or Chargers, and there's some people, hey, I kind of have interest in your combat sports talk, but I don't want the football talk. So we're gonna try a new format where we kind of keep it shorter. And maybe in my head, I feel like we're expanding our media empire. Fernando, Compas on the B has a football show, a combat sports show, and I'm thinking maybe we might make Una Mas another show where we just kind of casual conversation, about our culture, hanging out with the homies, the Compas, obviously, and just kind of having a good dialogue, because that's always what happens when you have una más, when you have one more drink, you start getting going. So we might, for sure, we're gonna have the football show. We're gonna do a combat sports show, and hopefully you can kind of get into something where we make una más bigger. I think people like these topics, like just talking about a TV show, everyday life. We could talk about more about our careers there and kind of get to know us. So kind of like where it's kind of all the ideas, but I get that maybe it's a little too much, and I get the people who are patient with us, like, okay, they want to share their interests, but I don't really care for that. So maybe this might work better. 30-minute shows, we'll see. Give us feedback. We're always open to feedback. But for the football crowd, the Chargers crowd, I'm sure they love this episode with Kyle Van Noy. But we want to make sure that each topic, we have our attention, we put our effort and attention to it. It kind of feels like it could be rushed at times. This one will really focus on football, and I'm sure you guys liked it.
Yeah, so we're excited. But for the time being, it's time for us to go. We got some things going on. So Gilbert, ¿sabes qué? Vámonos.
Ya nos vamos, pues, vámonos.